that we have to focus on the Chazal that say the man's livelihood is as difficult as the Kriyat Yam Suf, the splitting of the Red Sea. So now, why is this difficult? He explains that we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made made laws of nature, and anything HaKadosh Baruch Hu made, it's perfect. Why does he have to go and change it? Laws of nature say that an ocean stays an ocean and it shouldn't split in the middle. The fact that he had to go and make a miracle out of it and go and make it go against his nature and split in half, that goes against Hashem's nature that he put in place before. So it's difficult to go and retract, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to go and retract for what he made in place already. But this is considered difficult. But we should know that the Parnassah is more difficult, which means what? That comes out that if the Kriyat Yam Suf is difficult because Hashem had to make a miracle and go against the laws of nature, the Gemara Pesach Pesachim is saying the mizonot of a person is even more difficult for Hashem than Kriyat Yam Suf, which means to say basically that the person's Parnassah is even a bigger miracle than Kriyat Yam Suf. You think about how is it possible if you do all the Kilo Olam Hasdos we have in Tehillim chapter 136, it says over there Ligzor Yam Suf Ligzarim, Hashem split the sea into parts, Kilo Olam Hasdo. Noten Lechem L'chol Basar is the last one. Noten Lechem L'chol Basar, Kilo Olam Hasdo, meaning the bigger one we have to Hesed to say realize the Hesed from Hashem and to give praise to Hashem. The more we have to praise Hashem for what? This that he gives bread to all flesh in the world. This that he gives parnassah to each person. That's a bigger chesed. That we have to give more praise than the ligzor yam suf ligzarim. This that Hashem put split the sea into parts. How is that? The person has to know. The Gemara Masechet Avodah Zarah says that what does Hashem do every day? Hashem's Yoshev Ezan Kolam Kulo Mikarnei Re'emim Ad Betikinim. He feeds the entire world from the largest animals to the smallest, even to the eggs of the lice. He feeds every animal in the world, right? So therefore, a person has to remember that this is also a miracle. This is the bigger miracle, the Kriyat Yam Suf. Yes, when we read the Kriyat Yam Suf, it's very important. It's supposed to give us chizuk. You're supposed to remember how HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, but especially from our parnassah. A person who looks at how our parnassah comes, how many miracles there's a parnassah. A person makes a bracha on the food, to make a cake, to eat a cake, to eat a cookie, to eat a bagel. All these things, they had to plant the seeds, it took time till they grew, they had to go and fertilize it, they had to go and water it, they had to go and take care of it, the bugs shouldn't eat it, then they cut it down, they process it, they make it into flour, then finally went to a different place to go and bake it, make it to a cake, then it got shipped, it got packaged, they went to the supermarket, you went to the store. There's a tremendous amount of stuff that had to happen for you to get the parnassah and enjoy from the parnassah you have in your hand, and it could all go and you just go by the wayside, and you completely forget about it, and you have no recollection of all this, and that's when you become that's when you become ungrateful. That what? You pass over all the goodness that Hashem did to you. That's why he says, a person who wants to have a real strong emunah, he has to remember every day the miracles that Hashem does to give you your food and the parnassah that you have in your pocket. As that's why the Halakha in Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Nun Aleph, a person who says Poteach et Yedecha and does not remember what it means and did not have the concentration during it, he has to go back and say it again. And it's so powerful to say Poteach et Yedecha properly, to remember the miracles of Hashem, how He gives us parnassah, that if you say every day Ashrei 3 times, you become Olam Ben Olam Haba, a person who gets the world to come. Why? Because I just say the Ashrei 3 times, I get Ben Olam Haba, I'm already fit to go to the world to come. Yes, that's how powerful it is. And the Gemara says, what's so special about Ashrei? Because it has Poteach Yedecha. That's why it's so powerful. So if you say Poteach Yedecha 3 times a day, and you say it with Kavanah, that is Zgula. That is a for sure way possible that you're going to have Yirat Shamayim and Emunah and Hashem that day, and you're going to be probably do mitzvot that are going to lead you to Ben Olam Haba. That's how powerful it is to remember our parnassah, to remember how HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us our food. If you think about it, that our body so digest the food, our body gets rid of the waste and keeps only the good, and the person is able to digest the multiple systems. The acid in your stomach doesn't burn a hole in your stomach. Everything is in a balance. The impurities are led to the liver, the kidneys. You release it in the bathroom waste, and you keep only the good, the vitamins. All this stuff is unbelievable, miraculous. And what? We have to pay attention to this, because if you don't pay attention to it, it'll go by the wayside. Baruch, you should live a long life. We've said many times, you could sit on your dining room chair and you don't pay attention that you're sitting on your dining room chair, and you won't get benefit from it. You won't be happy that you have a dining room chair because you didn't think about it. Anything in your life you want to give you joy, once you buy it, it'll give you joy, but then you forget about it. So that's why you have to remind yourself all the time. And if you don't sit every day, and it's how he comes into a room, you ever see how he comes to the room? He says, thank you Hashem for the lights, thank you Hashem for the AC, thank you Hashem for the microphone, thank you Hashem for the chair, thank you Hashem for the table. Everything he reminds us of every day, so you should get joy from it. Because if you don't, you'll only focus on what you don't have, you'll break yourself, and you'll say, I have nothing. And then you have the old school people telling you, you have hot water, you have this, you have that, and when we grew up we had nothing. You have to be grateful. Rabbi, come speak to my son. He is not grateful. Why is he not grateful? Because he forgets. That's why every day we have to say, that's why we have to say, that's why you have to remember that the Kriyat Yam Suf is a big miracle. The bigger miracle is Hashem, how He gives us our food and our part.